All right, and to get analysis on the story now, we joined from our Pretoria studios by Professor Lesiba Teffo. Prof, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on SA Today. You and I are not legal experts, but I suppose the question really is, did you see this one coming?
Yeah, Dumela and the listeners, I'm not surprised, and very few indeed would be surprised. It has been long coming. Maybe compliments are also due to the former president. Remember, he called for his day in court, and that day is fast approaching. And let's trust that there will be no appeal from now thenceforth, and he would just avail himself and let the process run its course. It has taken 16 years that are very costly to the nation and even to himself, both financially and emotionally.
As you say, the former president hasn't really indicated his intentions as to whether he will seek appeal on this particular case. But as you say, that a lot of people are saying that he's been asking for his day in court, and eventually that will happen. Do you think he will not appeal this today's decision?
Well, there is something called Stalingrad strategy, which is what he invoked in the past 16 years. I would be surprised if he wouldn't be tempted and even resort to appealing this process. For as long as there is still another court that he can appeal to, I suspect he will do that.
Let's also talk to the support. I mean, with his previous court cases, we had seen a huge supporters coming out in their large numbers. But if you were to compare his previous court appearances with today, the situation was quite different.
There is an expression to this effect. People follow power where it goes. Has he still got some patronage to dish out? No. And human beings across the globe, in the main, behave like that. I'm not surprised. I expected it. He too, I'm sure he can expect it. He is more experienced than I am. He knows that if there is nothing, most of them didn't support him. They supported what they can get out of at least his position. Once you lose power, you suddenly realize that it is your position that people are interested in rather than you as a human person.
And as you said, Prof, that the case has brought the former president some emotional and financial strains as well. We've seen the attempts previously really by his supporters to raise funds to help him. Let's just look into some political implications perhaps for someone or some people who can want to assist him going forward financially so.
That's one bit that I don't agree with. I don't think he's a man of straw. I think, you know how in this game is being played. When you dish out patronage, you also invest in the future. And there are those who will remember you when the days are dark. The question of getting VBS to pay out for this and to pay out for that, for me is just playing the game that seems to suggest that I don't have everything. But I don't think, truth be told, he's a man in the next 10, 20 years who can claim that he's as poor as a church mouse. I think he still has the resources, and those that benefited out of his patronage will still rally around. They will remember that they are where they are, and a good number of them because of him, and I don't think they will ditch him.
So looking at this case, looking back to 16 years ago when it all started, the former president has always maintained that it was politically motivated. Now he says that political interference is getting him prosecuted. What do you make of that?
Well, look, that is almost a slogan that is used by almost every politician in our country once they are found on the wrong side of the law. I mean, you heard even Madame Gumede saying the same, and she's not the only one. Even those that are caught up in the Smolanyana municipalities for having found their fingers in the till, they would still allege that it is political persecution, if you like. But that for me is neither here nor there. The bottom line is there was an issue. There are cases that he must answer to: racketeering, corruption, money laundering, and so on. Indeed, he may still be acquitted, right? So let him allow due process to run its course, and let's see what the verdict would be. Today, we have just had a verdict today. Let's hope that there will be another day that will hear a verdict that puts to rest this matter.
But in terms of the judiciary services, the justice system, do you believe that this, in a way, will sort of bring back the credibility of the justice system, as per the president's say that he's looking into improving and bringing back the credibility of the justice system?
I don't want to believe that the justice system is wanting in any way. There has been consistent attempt to undermine it. And the ruling party in the main must take responsibility for that. That they have been vilifying, renouncing and denouncing judges when decisions don't go in their favor. But when they go in their favor, they are the ones to applaud, right? They would call judges names. But I can tell you, if we, in the past 10 years, we didn't have a judiciary as independent as the one South Africa has today, this country would be to the dogs. They were the last line of defense in the darkest hour, especially when JZ was in office. If we didn't have a strong judiciary, I'm sorry, I shudder to imagine where we would be. Many countries in Africa collapsed precisely because they didn't defend, protect, and promote the institutions that are meant to buttress, to strengthen, to deepen, and to promote democracy. And in the darkest hour, the judiciary of this country stood up, some of them at high risk to their careers, but they said the country, the national flag and the national constitution supersede party political loyalties. And I thank them for that, and I say kudos to them, and they must not lose faith. The country is much bigger than any other political party, nor any individual.
All right, Prof, time constraints. We have to leave it at that. Professor Lesiba Teffo, political analyst, joining us now live from our studios in Pretoria.